Greetings, Spartan Willie here, and welcome back to our McLaren Motorsport Manager F1 2021 Manager Mod Save Season 2. So I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Welcome back to the series. Today we've got the Portimao GP in 3 days, not that long of a turnaround. And this is the second episode of the day, so if you're loving the double daily upload, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already. Road to 1000 is on. So yes, Portimao in 3 days, acceleration, low speed corners and top speed. So I'm not expecting as dominant of a performance as we've been expecting. As you can see, our gearbox is working on the reliability though. 1481, it's not the best on grid, in fact it's the second. Oh okay, we're on second. I swear last episode it was on the 5th on grid, but we have now got the best car on grid, which is just immense considering where we started. I mean, it all got set up by that first season. So we're going to work on Lando's front wing just before the race. The car repairs are complete just 2 days before it's time for Portimao, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, welcome to Portimao. Today we have qualifying. It's a bit of rain has creeped into the session and will creep into this one. When I say session I mean Q2, but it's going to be interesting. We haven't seen rain at all this season from memory, but I think it'll be fine. I don't think it's going to mix up the grid too much due to it only really being at the end, and you have a good 6 minutes to set a lap. So we haven't been the top. Verstappen's been pretty quick this weekend, so we might see a pole from Red Bull. But Norris goes on proficient pole, and yeah, there it is. Verstappen on pole as things stand. Ricciardo's still down in 5th. We're not even going to go back out. There is no point trying to set another lap because he just will not go faster with a wet track. And on the intermediates or even on slicks on a wet track, just does not work. But that will be all she wrote for that qualifying session, only just off Verstappen, so it's going to make a very interesting sort of story for the race. Alright, time for the next chapter of the story that I alluded to before in race day here at Portimao. We're going to go race trim, light-footed, the best combo out there. We're getting great intel in practice as well with the setup, so push, overtake, high, oh no. I do this every race. How did I mess that up? Anyway, start race. We're going to ride on board Lando Norris in 2nd. Hopefully gets a better start than last time. It'd be awesome if we can lead. Take the lead early and just lead for the whole race. It'll do wonders. Oh my days. Say wonders for my heart rate. But hey, Ricciardo got a better start than Leclerc. Oh! And Leclerc just went smashing off the track. He actually went through one of our cars. Oh my days, that could have been a very bad incident if this had a collision sort of system, but both our cars are still on track, pointing the right way, so that's a bonus. Norris got off to a shocking start, well not a shocking, but not an ideal start by any means, as his teammate has overtaken him, and it's going to be close. Come on lads, keep it civil. Ricciardo's not happy with the treatment of the parts this season, I think, the delegation of the parts, so he's trying to prove to me that, you know, he can do better in that car, but we'll see what happens here as this race develops, as Norris is going to fight and they're still squabbling and we're losing a lot of time on the leaders here as Norris finally gets past. We don't do team orders down here at McLaren due to just entertainment reasons really, but Norris finally through and now pursuing Hamilton and Verstappen, who are increasing their gap, but we are on the better strategy, so it's also being able to just come back to that strategy whenever we're not looking the fastest on the track, because that strategy is such a big advantage. The AI just do not know how to get a good strategy going. So if Verstappen has any sort of race like last time out, we'll see him pit about 3 times. So the one stop looking like quite an easy achievement today, so we'll definitely aim for that one. Looks to calm down on the tyres a little bit as we get into the swing of this race. If I can open this window, there we go. So Norris is battling with Hamilton, it says, but he's still quite a way back on the actual screen. We're right now in a Mercedes sandwich between two. It's a double sandwich with Norris and Ricciardo, double McLaren, but the bread is still Hamilton and Russell. What even is this analogy? Who knows? But if you're following, you're following. And we are now following Hamilton with Norris, and Verstappen increasing that gap to just 5 seconds now. So come on, we gotta get Hamilton soon, but we won't. The gap's increasing to Hamilton too, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this race develops. Okay, so a fair way into this race, and to be honest, we could probably no stop, but we're not going to do that just because for realism reasons you have to stop at least once in Formula 1. We're not quite following the rule of using 2 different slick compounds, but that's fine. Don't worry about that one. No rain. I always forget to check that. I'm getting a bit slack, I think. But we'll do a double stop there. Enough of a gap between each other. So Norris going to come into the pits. And a good stop, 1.8. I think that might be the fastest this season, actually. I wasn't really keeping track in the first race. But definitely faster than last time out. Ricciardo gets a just above 2 seconds. Not too shabby at all. Our pit crew are out of their skins at the moment. So if we can... performing out of their skins, I should say. We're going to really try and push to close this gap on the top two boys. And it looks like we're going to actually put in an amazing dent. Norris has got some serious pace. He's shot down that gap to Verstappen, almost halved it in about 2 laps, which is fantastic. They're going to have to stop again, I believe. So a great bit of driving from Norris. Yes, he's got the car, but wow, he's already overtaken Hamilton too. He is on an absolute madness. He says he wants 3 in a row. He's going to get 3 in a row. He wants the hat-trick of wins to start off the season. Ricciardo, not quite the same effect, but hopefully gets past Russell soon. That's all I can say for that one. 3.5 seconds to Verstappen now, who's still got a pit stop in him. And we're going to actually ride aboard him. He's probably coming in this lap. No, he's staying out in the 23%. And George Russell has finally been dealt with by Ricciardo. Good to see. We're going to switch to high engine modes just so we can see out the end of this race on the fuel side quite comfortably. And Verstappen, we still haven't seen the little box there as the little box icon. He's coming into the pits, so we're going to ride aboard Norris to see the overtake. We need to get Ricciardo past Hamilton while Hamilton pits. That would be ideal, but Norris is going to just sort of conserve the tyres, not risk having an incident. That being said, oh okay, no, I thought it was a 2-second gap, but Verstappen's out of the pits now. Hamilton will overtake him. Ricciardo a well way back. I don't think he really has a chance of picking up a podium today. Maybe if Hamilton pits, but I doubt it. So, I mean, this is what I mean. At the tracks where we're not really, that's not suited to our car, it can be a bit of a struggle. Norris has had to put in a 10 out of 10 drive to put him where he is now, just 4 seconds above Verstappen. And as you see, our strategy is actually winning this race too on the light-footed soft tyres. So it's everyone on the team is performing to their full potential to try and get this amazing start to the season to keep going. But 6 laps to go. Norris is looking like we're going to hear the British anthem yet again for the 3rd time this season in as many episodes where there's been a race in. So you'd love to see it. Ricciardo, who he's not even going to get on the podium today, but that's fine. Our gap is now over Mercedes, so Ferrari not having the best of race with Leclerc and Leclerc. There's too much red. Leclerc and Sainz in 6th and 9th. So the funny sex numbers not getting the job done for them today. Figure down 18. The bottom of the grid's looking quite similar. Even Bottas when he DNFs right at the bottom like he has been all season. Mazepin and Oscar, interesting little battle going on there. A couple of gas that got dropped for Mazepin. That is quite the revelation. But we're going to jump on board. Lando Norris is going to come home in P1 after a fantastic drive. He got the job done. I can't believe that little bit of a run he went on after the pit stop. And we clip in with the standard bit there. Ruins it a bit. But P1, thank you guys. Couldn't done without you. And that is just a wholesome message from the young Brit who wins 3 in a row and takes a storming lead of the championship. As you can see there over his teammate. Well, he keeps expanding that lead. That lead's been there since the start of the race. And P4 for Ricciardo, solid performance, only behind the top drivers of the top 2 teams, so we can't complain too much about that one. Russell is improving as the season goes on. It wasn't really within the battle. Obviously with Hulkenberg there as well. I wonder what will happen when Perez is fully fit again. Will he keep his role? I don't think he's done that well, to be honest. I think if Perez can get his stats back, I think Perez will take back over. Now, was this Red Bull pace legal? Let's have a look. Yes, it was. So good for them for learning to build a car legally. If you're not following, it's nothing about Red Bull in real life. It's about them last season in the game. They cheated like I think 2 or 3 times. That's the only thing. Hamilton also, I don't think, ran out of fuel on that last lap. And there it is again. 3rd time already this season. Fantastic first place, cute hat. The boy on the top step, but Verstappen and Hamilton on the other 2. We haven't seen that so far this season. But yeah, hopefully have a bit of a challenge on our hands to make things a bit more interesting. Chairman happiness has in fact peaked at 100%. It just took 3 races to go from 40% to 100%. So it's amazing what winning can do for you, especially when you say you're going to come fourth. So, I think that worked in our favor a little bit. It'd be interesting to see how things pan out for the rest of the season. But that is the hat trick for Lando. Our marketability goes up yet again. So we're going to be the most marketable team in the championship in no time. Mark Webber wants to ask us a question. Same question as last week. Get a new question, because I'm not giving you a new answer, that's for sure. Lando is storming this championship as things stand. But that will be all she wrote for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit more interesting this time around, a bit of contest, a bit of great strategy and great racing from Lando. It led to us getting this victory, but with more reliance on gearbox throughout the season, I think we're going to see a bit more of a challenge from the other two teams. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Consider subscribing if you're not already. Join the Discord server. You can still win that giveaway. We still haven't drawn it yet, of course. And I'll see you on the next one.